Spring. In this session we are going to see bean life cycle, two important methods. One is init method and the other one is destroy method. We are going to see the bean life cycle, two important methods. One is init, the other one is destroy. Whenever a bean is instantiated, it may be required to do some initialization work. On the other hand, whenever the bean is removed from the container, some cleanup process might be required to we need to do some cleanup process when a bean is removed from the IOC container. Alright, so for this purpose destroy method would be used. So in this session we are going to see the bean life cycle, two important methods. One is init and the other one is destroy method. So these two methods are created in a Pojo class, and then both the methods are called in the beans.xml file using the two attributes. One is init method, and one attribute is init method and the other attribute is destroy method. So let's see. Now I'm going to show this in a project. So click on file. So as usual you create a string project. So just create BC, okay, and click on finish. Now you can see the project name here. Project is created. As usual we need to add the jar files, string jar files. Click on class path. Right click on the project and then build path, and then configure build path, and then the class path, and then click on add external jar. Here already I have downloaded. Select all the jar files and add it. We need to add one more common file. So this stuff we have seen in the previous session. How to what are all the files will appear in a Spring application. So click on jar files and click on common loggings jar file and apply and close. Now we have added the jar files. Now what you do, right click on the SRC, and we need to create two Java classes and one first we need to create three files, two Java class files and one beans.xml file. So first let us create the class file, Java class file. I just create st. Alright, so that's a class file, Java class st. Finish. Now you can see the file is created, right? So again click on the BC, and so I didn't create the package, but it's been created by it's been created because normally the files will be placed in a package. Alright, so again right click on the BC package and create one more class named main app, and this main app this main app class should have the main method. So click on the public static void main and click finish. So now the main app class is created. Alright, and we need to create one more file which is beans.xml. So right click on the SRC and right click new, go to other, and then here you can find the XML file. Click on and next, give the file name beans.xml. So we have created 3 files. We have created the beans.xml. We have created one Pojo class and then the main app.java, one Pojo class named st, and one main app.java. So and then main app.java and then beans.xml file. Alright, so let me, so here this beans.xml file, we need we need a code, we need this code snippet. So I just copy from other application, so you can find this code snippet on the internet. Alright, fine. So beans.xml file is created. Now go to the Pojo class st.java. In this, what we do, public string inf. Alright, so we create a string variable inf, and what you do, create the getter and setter, generate the getter and setter. How do you do? Select and right click on it, go to source, and then you will find generate getters and setters. Here you select all, click on select all, and then generate. So it's been created. Now you can see the get in inf, set inf, getter and setter methods are created. Now what you do, we need to create 2 more methods. As I said the beginning of this session, one is init, so public void init. Okay, so in this you can do the initialization task. So I just print a text message, something like now it's now being in init method. That's it. So again, now we have created the init method, and then what I do, one more method, destroy method. So public void destroy method. So in this method again, just copy I print now being in destroy method. I just copy and paste to save the time. Okay, so that's it. So we have done with the Pojo class history.java. So we have created getter and setter and then the init method and destroy method. Okay, so now we move on to main app.java. In this we need to import one interface and one class. One interface name is abstract application context, and the class, one more class we need to import, that is class path XML application context. So import org.spring framework.context.support. When you key on dot, you can see the abstract application context class. So it is not interface, it is a class, and we need one more class path XML. So same org.springframework.context.support. And when you key in the dot, you can see the class path XML application context. Select it. Now we have to create the abstract application context object. Abstract application context. So just this is a reference variable context. Here we give the keyword new and then the class path XML application context. Okay. This application context, inside you need to give the XML file name, that is we have created beans.xml file name, give it the beans.xml file. Okay, and then what we need to do, we need to create the object for the Pojo class st. So st and then the object name, reference variable name obj equal to, for casting we just give the Pojo class name st, and then what you do, we have created the abstract application context, so use the abstract application context object dot get bean, and we need to pass the bean id. So we need to access the bean. How do we access the bean? Using the getBean method, and we within the getBean method, when we call the getBean method, we need to pass in the id of the bean. So I just give the getBean, select the getBean method, and we need to give the id of the bean. So we have yet to create the id. We need to configure in the XML beans.xml file. So as of now I just leave it. And then what we need to do, so system dot out dot println being in main app, I just print a text, and then I'm gonna call the getter method of the st Pojo class. So I'm using the obj, that is the st Pojo class object obj, and then I key in the dot. You can see the list of methods. You need to select the get inf. Okay, that's it. And then what you do, we need to do whenever in a non-web application, we need to do register the shutdown hook. So that what happen, it gives a graceful shutdown, as well as it calls the relevant destroy method, so that all the cleanup process has been done. Alright, so what you need to do, just use the abstract application context object, that is context dot, just key in the dot. You can see the list of methods. You need to just you type register re. You can see when you type re, you can see register shutdown hook, select it. That's it. So both the init method as well the destroy method, destroy method will be called when you use this code snippet. Alright, when you call the register shutdown hook, the destroy method will be called, and all the cleanup process will happen before the bean is removed from the IOC container. Alright. So now that's with the main app. Now we need to move to the beans.xml. Here what we do, we need to define the bean. So key in the bean keyword, and then we are going to create the 3 attributes, id and then the class. id will hold the object of the class attribute to hold the class name. And then we in this project we are going to see two new attributes. One is init method, which holds the init method initial which holds the method name without the parenthesis. In this method all the initialization work will happen. And one more attribute, that is destroy method. This attribute will hold the method name, destroy method name. That method will will do all the cleanup process before the bean is removed from the IOC container. Alright, so let me here one more tag, that is property. Here two attributes, that is name, which holds the Pojo class variable name, and then the one more attribute which is value, that holds the value for the Pojo class variable name. Right, so here in this st.java the variable name is inf. Right, here you can see on the screen inf. So what I do here, I give the inf, and then the value for this I just key in Tamil Nadu. Okay, that's it. So we have yet to give the class name. What is the class name? BC is a package that holds the class. Class name is st, right? So st I have given. BC is the class package, and the s.st is the Pojo class name. Here we id holds the object for this st class. So what is the object? I just give b. That's it. Okay. Now go to the main app, and you need to mention this. You need to specify this bean id. St Pojo class, st bean id is b. So that should be mentioned here. Get bean. When you call the get bean method, we need to give the id, bean id. That is bean name is st and the id is b. Alright, so that's it. Also, let me run this. You will see the init method. I mean, once the bean is instantiated, you can see this method. You can see the init method is called. The control goes to the control initially creates the container initially creates a bean. Once the bean is created, this init method is called, and then you can see now being in init, that text is printed on the console, and then again it comes here. Alright, so system.out.println being in main app, this text is printed, and then get inf. This method will print the Tamil Nadu text. Will print the st Pojo class variable name inf value. Okay, and then what happened? Context.register shutdown hook. This will what it will do. It will call this destroy method, and once the destroy method is called, now being in destroy, this text will be printed on the console. So let me run this. You can see this. All right. So in the output you can see only being in main app Tamil Nadu. The console you can see underneath. So this is because we in the init method equal to, we have yet to give the init method name, right? So in the Pojo class st, this is the Pojo class st, we have defined two methods. One is init method and the other one is destroy method. So init method we perform the initialization work, and destroy method we do the cleanup process before the bean is removed from the IOC container. So we need to give this init method name and destroy method name in the beans.xml file in in place of in the init method attribute and destroy method attribute. So here we need to give the init init, we don't need to give the parenthesis, and here we need to give the destroy. Okay, so that's it. Now let me run the same. One more thing I have added, contest.close. This is just to close the abstract application contest. All right, so let me run this again. Now I believe this time it will show the output which we have expected. All right, see, I believe we got the, now you can see that this is a console I have enlarged. So you can see the now being in init method, being in app, being in destroy method. So let me explain. First statement, now being in init method, so you can see the output, and then it shows being in main app Tamil Nadu, and then now being in destroy. So initially what happened, the bean is created. Once the bean is created, it calls the init method. All right, so why does it call the init method? In the beans.xml we have given the init method equal to init, so it calls the init method. All right, so that's the reason you can see the output. This now being once it calls the init method, it goes here init method, and here we print the text now being in init method. So that's the reason you can see the same statement. And then what happened, the control goes here. All right, so system.out.println being in main app obj.getInf. so here in the console, if you go here, being in main app, the text is printed, and then the obj.getInf value we have given Tamil Nadu in the beans.xml file. Tamil Nadu INF value Tamil Nadu we have given, so it shows being in main app Tamil Nadu. And then control comes contest.register shutdown hook. So this what will do, it will do the graceful shutdown, and it calls a destroy method which is defined in the Pojo class st. So this, once the control comes here, destroy method, now being in destroy, this text would be printed. So that's the reason that text now being in destroy method is printed. All right, so that's it. So so altogether we got this output. So in this lesson in this session we have seen two bean life cycle, two important methods. One is init method and the other one is destroy method. So init method, it is used to do some initialization work, and the destroy method, it is used to do some cleanup process before the bean is removed from the IOC container. All right, so it is done using the XML file with two attributes, that is init method and the other one is destroy method. All right. That's it. So it can be done using the initializing bean and destroy bean. those interface so it can be done using two interfaces, initializing bean and destroying bean, and it does have two methods. I mean, initializing bean, it does have a method named after set property, all right, and one more destroying bean, it does have destroy method. So it is recommended to use only the XML configuration. In the XML configuration, we use the two attributes. One is init method and the other one is destroy method. All right, so that's it. So thanks for watching. Bye.